When I was in my 20s, I was part of a Wiccan coven, believe it or not. And I was in this Wiccan coven for 2 or 3 years. I was around 21 years old. One of the deities that really connected with me was this spirit right here. This spirit is known, or this deity is known as Cernunnos or Cernunnos. Cernunnos or Cernunnos is known throughout the world. He is known as the Horned God of the forest, or the Lord of the forest, and he's known throughout many cultures. In ancient India, he is known as Rudra Shiva or Pashupati. In Egypt, he is known as Kram. In Mesopotamia, he was known as Enki. To the Greek, he was Pan or Faunus. To the Russians, he was Velos or Valos. Ancient England named him Herne, and I think to the Norse and Scandinavian, he was known as Freyr. To many Native Americans, he is closely associated with Kokopelli, and to some people in African traditions, they associate him with the Orisha or Chosi, the Lord of Justice. In Haitian Voodoo, he is known as Bosu, and in 21 Division, Dominican 21 Division, he is known as Toro Lisa. Cernunnos or Cernunnos was honored in many ancient cultures, especially Celtic cultures or Celtic areas, such as Celto-Iberia, which is modern-day Spain and Portugal, France, England, Ireland, and Scotland. To many Hispanic brujos and brujas, he is known as Cuernudo, the horned one. In fact, the Spanish word for horn, cuernos, comes from the name Cuernunnos or Cernunnos, Cernunnos. The representation or the image of Cernunnos or Cernunnos is the archetype of what we view as the ancient shamans. When Christian and Catholic missionaries went throughout pagan Europe, they would notice that the pagan people would honor this deity, Cernunnos, this horned god of the forest, and they associated this spirit with Satan, their Lucifer, their Satan, their biblical Beelzebub. But this is far from the truth, as Cernunnos is the Lord of life. He's a life-giving Lord. He's the Lord of the forest, the hunt, and all that resides within the forests. Many ancient pagans had no concept of a Satan or a Lucifer or a devil. And many Christians transformed this nature entity into their biblical Satan or Lucifer, and many pagan people lost their lives for sorcery and black magic and witchcraft, honoring this pagan entity. Many witches and pagans use silver as a protective charm. It connects us to the feminine energy of creation, the moon energy. So you'll notice a lot of witches and brujos and brujas use pentacles, silver pentacles, and silver charms for protection. Here I am at a jewelry store. I wanted to, get a nice necklace for it that matched this pendant that my friend had purchased for me in Spain, and it just came out really beautiful. Yes, coming.
That's beautiful. You never find something like that.
No, you don't find that here.
I never see it.
Yes.
I see all jewelry, but I never see those.
From Europe.
Yeah, nice. Your family from Europe?
Yes.
Where
From Spain.
You went to traveling there?
Yeah. This is an old god of fortune and luck.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. So there are many ways of blessing, charging, and consecrating amulets. In Latin America, you will see brujos, brujas, espiritistas. We like to bury our charms, if possible, outdoors, so it collects the energies of the sun and moon. If that's impossible, then we put it into a pot of dirt within the house. Also, you will see espiritistas smudge down the amulet with smoke and place it into a fuente of water to absorb any negative energies. Within Latin American brujeria and shamanismo, talismans and amulets are consecrated, blessed, and charged with the 5 elements. The 5 elements that make up all that is within the universe. From densest to least dense, this is earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. Salt is used to represent the element of earth, and salt is often used to remove negative vibrations, unwanted vibrations from a charm or a talisman. So this represents the element of earth. Many times a talisman or a charm is placed within salt, or it could be sprinkled with salt over it, or it could be left in salt overnight. Then the element of air. Air, you'll see a lot of brujos or shamans use tobacco, cigars, incense such as frankincense, copal, hierbabuena, any herb is used, and they burn it and they pass the charm through the smoke of the incense or the resin to cleanse and purify. So before I go any further, I want to talk about earth. Earth is salt. Earth gives life, gives birth, it nourishes, it protects, it brings wholeness, stillness, prosperity, and rest. Air, the smoke of the incense, brings the breath of life, communication, exchange of ideas. Fire, which is my favorite element, fire represents primal energy. It brings passion, courage, willpower, lust, spiritual aspiration, and impending renewal. And finally, the element of water, which brings cleansings. It's calming, it's healing. It brings emotions, intuition, pleasure, and introspection. Water and earth are often associated with feminine yin energy, while fire and air are often associated with masculine yang energy. So fire and air are associated with phallic, solar, masculine, Mars energy, while water and earth are associated with yonic or yoni, lunar, feminine, moon energy. So after passing the charm or talisman through the other elements, finally they come through the cleansing energy of water. Silver can oxidize, so you got to be careful with this. When you cleanse your silver with water, please make sure to dry it out completely. You can leave it overnight, leave it by a windowsill so it collects the energies of the sun and moon. But please make sure to completely dry your silver. After this, we give it the spirit, the breath of life. We give it a prayer. Any prayer you want to give it is fine, depending on your spiritual or religious views. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you want a reading from Sancista Brujo Luis, there is my email below. Contact me with information for readings. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. Ciao. Much blessings and love.